Well, breaking news for Back to the Bike. I've traded the Monster and bought myself a Multistrada V2S, and I'm out today on a familiarisation ride. Those of you who followed my channel for a long time will maybe remember the couple of films I did when I was looking to buy a new bike after I wanted to find a lighter bike than the R1200 RT, and I rode both the Monster and the Multistrada, and I was sort of agonising between the two really, but decided to go for the Monster, and not a moment's regret. But I've had 3 years on that, 3 years of fun, but I was just finding that at my vast age now, 60 odd years old, I know it's only a number, but I was doing sort of 220, 240 mile day rides and coming back absolutely destroyed after being on the Monster all day, having had a lot of fun, by the way. An incredible machine. I'll never own a Ferrari, but I own the Monster, and it was the Monster R, so a special designation. Beautiful bike. So I wanted a bike that was going to be all day comfortable, would be a bit of a Swiss Army knife, sports bike, maybe extend my day rides out a little bit. And also the other factor was I wanted a bike that I could ride during the winter, because the Monster unfortunately isn't really a winter bike. It has no sort of weather protection at all, and also because of the fact you've got no hugger. No mudguard on the back, you end up with a massive line of mud down the back of your gear. So I thought, let's have a new adventure. Got a very good deal with Ducati at Nottingham, and very good trading. And exceptional service, I got to say, from Curtis at Ducati Nottingham. And I thought the BMW service was excellent, but I've got to say the customer care and the sales experience on the Ducati's been well, it's been exceptional. It's been the best I've ever experienced, whether for cars or for bikes, so I strongly recommend that. So the purpose of today's ride really is just a familiarisation trip really. Get used to the feel, get used to the engine braking, get used to the controls, the steering, take nothing for granted. As I say, the Monster was an exceptional bike, and whoever's got that is getting one heck of a bike. The idea of the Multistrada really, it's got 1100 miles on the clock. It's the V2S, so it comes with all the bells and whistles. I'm not going to review the bike as such, because that's been done to death really. Check out Bennett's or Motorcycle News for the actual reviews of the V2S. But so bearing in mind the last bike I rode was a Monster, 1200cc, 165 brake horsepower. Its weight was 185 kilos. So first impressions then of the V2S is that it's a lot taller, it's heavier, and that was the only negative for me, the fact that with my heart condition, I have a debilitating heart condition, and one reason for trading the RT all those years ago was I wanted a lighter bike. So this pushes the weight from the Monster's 185 kilos up to 225 kilos, so I've gained another 40 kilos, which you don't notice when you're riding, but I'll have to be careful when I'm manoeuvring it around. So for example, I don't want to park it you know, nose against the curb downhill ever, because I won't be able to get it back up again. So just need a bit of forward planning on that. But of course, like with all these bikes, once you're on the road, it makes no difference. Now the other difference is it's smoother, so there's less vibration than the Monster. Very smooth. Now I've gone for the tall seat. I'm just over 6 feet. I did a lot of research about turbulence and so forth. I've got the screen in its lowermost position at the moment, so that's something I've got to explore really. But there is turbulence around the crash helmet. But lots of options there, which I'll be exploring in future videos. But as I say, today really, it's not a question of thinking too hard, it's just a question of starting to develop a feel for the new bike. Something I do on all my machines. I always take it very gently at first, because of course you've got the mental processes of advanced riding and having to learn the dynamics of a new machine, how it accelerates, brakes, change gear. This one has the quick shifter, for example. The previous one doesn't, so I'm still using the clutch. Got a few goodies on the machine as well, which I'll probably show you in a separate video. Still got some to come. Very mild day now in mid-November. Overtaking is a breeze. Obviously that wasn't much of a challenge, but already had one overtake unfilmed on the ride, and there's going to be no problem getting past people. There's plenty of power, and the steering is very light. The mirrors are huge on this. Fantastic rear view. And a lovely day to be out. On the Monster, my lifesavers, my sort of shoulder check, I could combine it with the bar end mirror in sort of one movement. On this, just got to work that a little bit harder just to check my offside. We pass through the little village of Cannons Ashby. But yeah, the idea for the V2S was an all-year ride really. Just push those distances out a little bit. It gives me, give me a little bit more comfort. Check the mirrors into the NSL, and away we go. With a long view down the road ahead, although I can't see the whole road surface. The throttle control pretty well sorted on the Monster. Just a rolling down. Got that one right, hit the 30 at 30. And I've got to say 27 miles an hour, third gear. Very smooth actually. I know it's a different bike from the Monster, but I'd be in second gear now. Another impression is that it's a lot quieter than the Monster, but of course the Monster had the Terminioni pipes. But this just whispers along, really. Very easy bike to handle. As I say, I'm sitting in a tall position, I've got the raised seat. Very light clutch as well compared to the Monster. So it's just a question of getting a few miles under my belt at the moment. Just getting the feel of the machine. The biker up ahead. Friendly wave. I think the beauty of the V2S for me, having watched just about every review 10 times, not just of the V2S but also the 950S Multistrada, is that it's a very proven design, and this latest iteration I think just sort of polished it really. Took about 5 kilos off the weight. I suspect the only thing I'm going to have to do something about is the screen. So for any of you 6-footers out there who've got a Multistrada, what did you do and how effective was it? Oh, it just breezes along. And this is an extremely bumpy road as well, and I've got to say, again, on the Monster I'd be feeling every bump in sports mode. On this it's like riding a cushion. More beautiful sight than English countryside in the autumn. I think the other difference with the Monster is with the V2S is it's going to give me a little bit of a longer range as well than the Monster. I find that the Monster I was having to refuel after about 150-160 miles. This looks to be nearer 200, the way I ride. H2S ruining the British countryside, spending over 100 billion, destroying archaeology, ancient forests, people's homes, all for the sake of saving 20 minutes on a journey if you live right next door to the station in London and you can afford a ticket. Madness. You know, this is the kind of bike that can make you lazy, self-cancelling indicators, cruise control, a suspension system that takes care of the road for you. You don't have to think about it in terms of the suspension settings. Yeah, last time I came through that was green fields, look at it now. Destruction. The government goes on and on about green, being a green government, and yet it wantonly destroys our heritage. signing off. Be back with you shortly. I'll give you an overview of the bike and all the goodies that are on it. So thanks for watching, give us a subscribe, and it'd be great to chat with you in the comments.